Shalom, shalom. This is Azariah coming at you with another lesson, um, another preset, another breakdown on how to get your soul right, man. Right? On how to get your soul right. Right now, we got this lesson is about making a wise decision. Right? When you're out and about in this world, right? It's choices that you have to make. Right? And it's up to you to make them choices, whether them choices are going to be a righteous decision or the other decision is going to lead you into all hell and damnation, man. Right? Whether that decision is going to get you to the kingdom of heaven or it's going to get put down in the lake of fire. So you have to be wise in your decision out in this world, right? You have to be wise. The choice is yours, right? And I want to go to the book. I want to start off with the book of Sirach, right? Let's go to the book of Sirach. And before I jump in there, so Sirach chapter 4. So like I said, the choice is yours to make in this world, and it's up to you, right? To make them choices. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 20. It says, observe the opportunity and beware of evil. So you have to be wise, circumspect, beware of the opportunity, right, that is presented in front of you. And you have to beware of the evil that can comes with the opportunity of the decision that you make. It said, and be not ashamed when it's concerned thy soul, right? When it concerning you, don't be ashamed, right? It said, for there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which glory in his grace. So it said that's the shame will bring a sin. So when you making bad decisions, it's going to bring shame into your life, right? It's going to make your renowned name to make that name to be a shame, a reproach amongst people, right? Verse 22, it says, accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fall. So don't let any man cause you to fall. So when you in this world, you got to make the right decisions, right? You got to choose what's right and what's wrong. And you can't let anybody to persuade you other, man. If you know that you're trying to be in his righteous path, you're trying to be in his truth, but you're still allowing your friends in this world, right, to persuade you to do wicked things, then you're allowing that person to have power over your soul, right? And it's going to cause you to fall, right? Let's go back into the book of Proverbs, right? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 2. All right, where's Proverbs at? Yes, Proverbs chapter chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, when wisdom enter in into thy heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. So you gotta have wisdom, right? It said, when wisdom enter into thy heart, which is your mind, it said, and knowledge is pleasant to thy soul, right? It said, discretion shall preserve thee and keep. It said, understanding shall keep thee. So the discretion that the choices you make, the wisdom that the most I give you, that's going to preserve you, and an understanding of he gave you, that's going to keep you from falling. It's going to keep you from making wise decisions, right? Understanding the law, statute, commandments, right, is going to keep us out of the path of damnation. Understanding the Most High, and by reading this Bible, is going to it's going to give you the wisdom to understand what's right and what's wrong, what is sin and what is lawful, man. Right? So you got to have discretions in the choices that you make, right? And you got to allow the Most High to give you that wisdom. But what you got to do is apply this Most High commandments, right? Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 19. Psalms chapter 19 and verse 7. It said, the law of the Lord is perfect, right? Converting the soul, the testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. So the law is perfect. That's plain, right? It says, and it will make a simple man to be wise. A man that makes wrong judgments and decisions in his life is going to make him to now make wise decisions. That wisdom that's going to come into you is going to make you choose righteously, right? Not just out your own belly. So that's why you got to apply the laws and statute and commandments. And the only way you can do this, like I said, is by what? Studying, applying scriptures, reading the Bible, right? Front and back, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, is how you get the understanding, right? So that's the only way that you're gonna get wisdom, knowledge, understanding from the Lord. Let the Most High teach you, right? Let the Most High be your guide, be your teacher, lead you in the path of righteousness, right? Let's go back. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 40, 47, I believe. It's like Isaiah chapter 48. Isaiah chapter 48 and verse 17. It said, the Lord thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I am the Lord thy God, which teaches thee to profit, which leadeth thee by the way that thou shouldest go. So you got to allow the Most High to teach you the prophet, to teach you the way that you should go, right? If you're not allowing the Lord to teach you, then who you allowed in to teach you? Satan, right? You're allowing Satan to deceive you, to make you go off, man. Satan don't want you to keep the Most High commandments, right? But the Most High, he wants you to repent and keep his commandments and allow him to come and teach you. Then Christ said that he that come knocking, he will come and sup with him, right? So you got to allow the Most High to come sup with you, man, and allow the Most High to teach you in order to him. And he's not going to come down here and talk to you face to face, man. He gave you the Bible, right? He gave you his thoughts in the Bible, his heart. Allow the Most High to teach you by reading these scriptures, man, right? Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 25. And start verse 8. Psalm chapter 25 and verse 8. It says, good and upright is the Lord. Therefore will he teach sinners in the way. So the Most High is going to teach sinners. He's going to teach a simple man, a man that's in this world full of lust and demons. Now he's going to teach him his ways, right? The commandments, right? Verse 9, it said, the meek will he guide in judgment, and the meek will he teach his ways. So the Most High is not teaching no proud man, lofty man, right? Full of wickedness and strife and anger. He's not going to teach that man, right? That don't want to know nothing, man. That stubborn man with a proud heart. He's saying he's going to teach that man with teach them the meek, right? The meek man is a humble man. The meek gonna have the time to sit down and read the scriptures, right? The meek man is gonna be humble and allow the Most High to teach him and guide him in the way that he was going off, right? So you have to be wise in this world, man. Let's go to the book of Ephesians. All right, Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. It said, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, right? So you got to be wise in your decisions and don't want to be walking as fools, man. You had to be circumspect. You got to be cautious, right? Showing, be aware, right? Like Yahweh Shah said, he said you had to be wise as serpent, but harmless as doves, man. Doves. So you got to sit there and be cautious in the decision that you make. Don't just walk out there and think you know a lot of gagging and think that you're just gonna make any type of decision and decision is yours, man, and end up going off. No, you always have to apply the Most High commandments. Always have to apply the Most High commandments in every decision that you make, right? And yes, you can go out there and have a good day, man. But if you're going out there as a fool, then you're going to make dumb decisions, right? Let's go to the book of Sirach. All right, this is the book of Sirach. I want chapter 14 and verse 14. It says, defraud not thyself of a good day, and let not the part of a good desire overpass thee. Right? A good desire, not a lustful and wicked desire. Right? Defraud not thyself of a good day. So it's a good day outside, man. Right? It be 90, 80 degrees outside, and you want to go outside and go jogging. Go ahead. Enjoy yourself. Right? Go take a vacation. Relax yourself, man. Go meditate on the scriptures, man, at the beach or something, right? You want to go out, get a couple of drinks, but you got to make the good decisions, man, right? You don't want to be stuck in the house like one of them, the people that don't want to do nothing all day because they're afraid that they might go off, right? That's gonna cause you to be stressed, depressed, right? Be bored. All right. A lot of people when they bored, man, they don't know what to do, man. Right? They start feeling down, right? Have a sorrowful spirit, right? So most I say, go out and enjoy yourself sometimes, man. Right? Go have fun, but you got to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Sirach. No, Slakia. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. A lot of people like, no, man, I don't want to go out, man. Too much wickedness in this world, right? If I go out, I'm gonna go off. All right. And you can make that decision for yourself, man. But you don't want to let that cause you to be depressed, man. Because you don't want to go out because there's too much wickedness in this world. Right. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 16. Right. Hold on. It says, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? Right. So don't be righteous over much, man. Meaning what? Like I said, I don't want to go out. It's nothing but sin. Sin, 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 sin. The Most High said, don't be a part of the world. So I'm going to stay myself right in his house. Now you're causing yourself to be distressed, right? You're stressing yourself out. Right now, it said, "Why should thou destroy thyself? Why make yourself over righteous, which is going to cause you to be weary, have a lawful spirit, right? All these things can enter to you when you're stressed out, right? When you walk into depression, because you don't want to go out and enjoy yourself. Now you just sit there, bored in your house, don't want to do nothing, don't want to go out there and teach because it's nothing but sin." Right? Thinking that you're going to die if you go out there and teach the Most High commandments. No, now you've been over righteous. Right? Verse 17, it said, be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldst thou die before thy time? But don't be over much wicked. If you know that if you you're going out and you getting something to drink, and you know that, okay, I'm a light drinker, let me get 2 glass of strong drinks. If I get more than 2, I might get drunk. No, you got to say, look, make wise decision when you do this. Know your limit. Don't be over too much wicked. Neither, because why? Now, if you drink more than what you can handle, now you're causing yourself to drive back home under the influence of alcohol, which can what? either end up in two things, man, in a bad way. Pray that you make it home, but it can be as though you got yourself in an accident, which that you might never can't get out of, right? Like cause you to push yourself to death, man, get in an accident. A lot of people they speed, right? They swerving lane to lane, going this way, going that, going this way, going that way, right? In and out of lane, might hit a wall, hit a car, flip, roll, right? Eject themselves out the car because they were too drunk to put on the seatbelt, right? Just a couple of examples, man. Or they might get pulled over, right? Now you in jail, right, with a DUI. So don't be over too much wicked. So you got to be wise, man, in this world, right? Let's go to the book of Proverbs. Chapter 25 and verse 16. It said, "Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as it is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit." So you don't want to, like I said, when you enjoy yourself out there, don't drink too much. Know your limit, right? Okay, I had a good time. Like another example, if you do find yourself going out, look, choose wisely when you go out. Don't go out every single day, right? Because you found some joy in it, right? You got to be you got to be wise, man, in the decision that you're making, right? Because now you going out every single day. Now you letting the lust come into you, right? Now you going off, right? You found little honey. You found something that's sweet to you, like playing a video game. But now don't let that video game take over your mind and take you away from the scriptures. Don't let the video game, don't let the video game overtake you. Now you sitting there playing a video game 4 to 5 hours, 6 hours from when you get off work all the way till you go to bed. Now you got to go up and go to work again. Now you're doing the same thing when you get off work. You're going back to the video game all the way up until you play all the way up until you go to bed. What time is you putting in for the Lord? So when you find a little thing that's sweet to your soul, don't be over too much of it. It said, lest you'll vomit. And then or something now, if I do this too much, it's gonna make me go off. Make the decisions carefully that you do, man. Right? Now let's go to the book of Sirach. All right. Like I said, you can enjoy yourself, but take your time. Right? Take your time when you enjoy yourself, man. It's like when you eating too fast, you're not tasting the food. Take your time. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 27, and I start verse 26. It said, "A wise man shall inherit glory among his people." It said, "And his name shall be perpetual." Verse 27. It said, "My son, prove thy soul and thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it." Sorry. It said, so you got to prove your soul, right, in your life and see what is evil. Like I said, when you so when you out, sorry. Well, so when you out and you going out, you know the direction that you're taking, you might go down a wicked path. So let me not go that way. Right? Like when you going in a path where it says falling rocks. Okay, let me not go that way. Let me prove myself and know what is evil for me. Because I go this way, now I might get hit with a couple rocks. So I'm not going to give myself into it, if you know what I mean. Right? Verse 28. It says, "For all things that are profitable for all things are not profitable for all men, neither have every soul pleasure in everything." Like I said, not everything is profitable for all men. So if you're don't like going out to the club, don't go. If you know that you're going to sit there and go off and have too much to drink, start start trying to get women and fornicate, right? Like I said, you can go to a lounge, whatever, and go sit in the bar and go get a couple of drinks, get yourself something to eat, enjoy yourself, watch the game for a little bit, you know, enjoy yourself, right? But all things not profitable for all men. So if you know you, like I said, know your limits when you're drinking. Okay, it's not profitable for me to drink over 3 glasses of strong drinks. Let me get one. Let me get a cup of wine after that. You know, let me smoothen myself out, right? Or let me just, I just want to get a little buzz. Don't overdo too much, man. Like I said, it's like I said, neither have every soul pleasure to all things. So everything's not gonna be pleasure for you, man. So you might not like going out. You might like studying, right? But some things is just unprofitable for you, man. So don't get yourself into those things, man. That's going to allow you or cause you to go off. Because, like I said, you're battling it. You're battling this world, right? You're battling this world, and you are battling this in your thoughts in your mind, right? It's like, hold on. Let's go to the book of James. All right, the book of James, chapter 4 and verse 1. It said, "From whence come wars and fighting among you? Come they not hence, even of your lust, that war in your members?" Right? It said, look, it's going to be fighting wars in your members, in your thoughts, right? The flesh versus the spirit. Why? Which one you going to go to, man? You going to go to the flesh? They're going to lead you to be go into all diverse of lust and wickedness and destruction, or you going to go to the spirit that's going to get you to the kingdom of heaven, man, and walk upright and righteously, right? So it's a lot of wars that people are battling. So you got to know, okay, if I go out to the club, I'm not ready. My spirit's not ready for that, right? A lot of people, they go out to the lounges and stuff like that, and that spirit is not ready for it. Like I said, all things not profitable for all men, right? If your spirit is not, you can't handle certain things like hanging around certain family members or friends, right? That might be still in the world. Okay, then don't do it because they might tempt you to go off. If your spirit is not there to fight those demons and say, "Hey, man, you want to go do this? Look, man, I'm just going to chill today. Now that's not for me, right? You want to smoke this blunt? Nah, man, I'm cool, man. I'm gonna drink my glass of water. That's what I'm gonna do, right? So if your spirit is not up to par in those things, and it might be weak and give into those things when you go out and hang around with your friends, or you go out to a lounge and go get a couple of drinks, right? Then don't do it. You know yourself, prove yourself, right? Whether it be good or whether it be evil for your soul, man. Like I said, the decision is yours, but it's up to you to make those decisions. You have to be wise and understanding, right? Let's go to the book of Isaiah. All right, the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, and verse 6. It says, "Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time, and strength of salvation." Right? So wisdom and knowledge is going to be your strength, right? When you're out in this world. And it's going to lead you to salvation, right? The fear of the Lord is his treasures, right? It's his treasure. So if you don't have wisdom and knowledge, those not the things that you can rely on, then look, you got a lot of studying to do, right? Stay home, study before you go out, because then you don't know how to fight the demons out here in this world, right? You don't know how to fight the lust that's out here in this world, right? You have to be wise in everything you do, right? And you have to have the most you have to help allow the Most High to guide you in the path of righteousness, right? Let's go to the book of Tobit. right? Tobit chapter 4 and verse 14. It says, but this is Tobit talking to his son, right? Tobias, right? And this is a lot of wisdom that he was giving his son, right? It said, let not the wages of any man which have wrought for thee, right? It said, so roughly tarry, it said tarry with thee, sorry, it's like it. But it said, but give him, I'm reading it over again. I just butchered the whole thing. It said, let not the wages of any man which have wrought for thee tarry with thee, but give him it out of hand, sorry. For if thou serve God, he will also repay thee, right? Be circumspect, my son, in all things. So this is Tobit. He said, look, be circumspect, my son, in all things that you do. Make caution decisions in everything that you're doing, right? It said, and be wise in all thy conversation. So you have to be wise in all your conversation. Everything you do, you have to be wise and make the right decision. A lot of people, they can cause you to fall, right? They talking about lust and wickedness and a whole bunch of fornication. You're not there to you don't have enough wisdom to correct them. So your spirit might give into that. So you got to choose yourself. Okay, look, I'm not going to talk about this, man. This is going to cause me to go off if I have this conversation with you, right? Be wise in the conversation, right? Like, hold on, let me send this text message out real quick. All right, come on. So you have to be wise in the things that you do, in the conversation that you're having with your friends, right? Let's go to the book of Philippians. All right, Philippians, I want chapter 3. All right, and verse 17. That brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk so, or what so, and mark them which walk so as he hath us for example. So this is Paul, man. He said, look, be followers of me. Paul, right? When Paul was in the world, he was going off. But then he humbled himself down and allowed the Most High to sup with him and let Christ teach him. Now he said, look, be followers of me, right? Walk in the righteous path that I'm walking. Because Paul followed Christ, right? But he said, mark them, which also, it said, but mark them, which walk also as he had us for example. For many walk of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are enemies of the cross of Christ. So a lot of people, they are enemies of the cross of Christ, right? So you got to mark those people, man. It said, whose end is destruction, and who God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things, who they. So you have to mark those people, those friends that may cause you to fall, right? With the conversation they having, mark them people, man. Right? You have people to follow. You have righteous men to follow, man. Right? Righteous men to follow is you got Genesis to Revelation, right? The wise men of this book, man. Right? Follow Moses. Follow the example of our forefathers, man. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. Right? Follow Yahweh Shai, right? That did no sin. You have righteous men to follow, man. Follow Peter, right? How he got up from the boat and follow Christ as soon as he said, follow me. He had no doubts of it, man. So a lot of people, their God is their belly. Meaning what? Whatever they set their mind to, they're going to do it. That's what they do, man. If they want to go out there, smoke weed, get drunk, fornicate, do this, do that, that's what they do, man. So mark those people and separate yourself from the people, right? Verse 20. For our conversation is in heaven, right? From whence also we look for the salvation, the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So Our conversations, your conversations, should be in heaven. Earth, not in earthly things like those people in this world, but heavenly things, right? The scriptures talk about the glory of the Lord, man. Right? Talk about the kingdom of heaven, man. And when it comes, man. Talk about the second coming of Christ and all the destruction that He's going to bring with it to the enemies of Him, man. Right? You got to show yourself to be an example and a light to these people in this world, also, right? And in order to do those things, you have to make wise decisions and be that light to them, right? Let's go to the book of let's go to the book of First Peter, right? Chapter 5 and verse 3. It says, neither being lords over God's heritage, but being an example to the flock. So you don't want to try to rule over people, man. That's not what the Most High brought you down here to do. Not to be a ruler. He's the ruler. He's the governor, right? But he wants you to be an example to the flock. Be an example to the friends, man. If a person wants you to go off and be in this world, and do wickedly, fornicate, whatever. No, you got to be an example. You have to be that light. Your light has to shine amongst the sinners, right? Your light has to shine amongst the sinners and allow the sinners to see the light that you're giving out. Oh, that man walking righteously. Oh, he don't want to go out and party no more. Oh, he don't want to go out and smoke this weed and go talk these females, man. Try to get their numbers and fornicate with them. Oh, he don't want to do those things no more. No, that man showing himself a good example of how to walk in an upright person, as an upright person, man, as a person of Christ, man, a follower of Christ. So you got to be an example to the flock because many people are dependent on you. Many people that look up to you, right, depends on the things, depends on you. So you got to make wise decisions that if you end up going off, a lot of people behind you might go off also, right? Let's go to the book of Judith, chapter 8 and verse 24. It says, it says, now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren, because their heart depend upon us in the sanctuary, in the house, in the altar rest upon us. So look, it said, let us show ourselves an example, because a lot of people, they depends on you, man. When you show yourself as an upright man and let your light shine, you don't want to dim that light. That other people see that light starting to dim, that burner starting to go off, right? You want to continue to let that light burn, right? Let that light burn, right? Put more oil in it, put more wisdom into it, man. Letting that light burn so others may see that light and follow after the steps you're following. Like Paul said, be followers of me, man. But Paul followed Christ and he let that light burn so other people can see the wisdom, not the understanding, and the spirit that was in Paul, man. That was in Peter. That was in James, right? That was in all the disciples, man. Right? So a lot of people, they depend on you, man. They might see you go off, they know what? They might go off, right? Or they might see you start teaching, or you start going out and teach the people. Then they might stop doing it, man. So you gotta continue to let your light burn, because a lot of other people seeing that light and they follow after that footsteps, man. Let's go to some examples, man. All right, some examples of making wise decisions. Let's go to the book Second Maccabees, chapter 6, man. This is a good example that a lot of people will look up to another person, all right, and follow after that footsteps, man. Right? Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 18. It says, Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man of a well-favored continent, right, was constrained to open his mouth to eat swan flesh. Right? So if you read the story, Esau, right, they're trying to make this wise elder man, which was 90 years old, right? And which everybody looked up to make him to eat swine flesh, right? Why? So they can have others to follow it after his footsteps, and so they can eat swine flesh and go off. Right? Hold on. Right. Let's go to verse 19. It said, but he choosing rather to die gloriously than to live staying with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord. Sorry, and came of his own accord to the torment. Right? So he chose not to rather eat that swine flesh, man. Right? Verse 20. It said, as it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. So no one, no, look, eating swine is an unclean thing. Which our people right now love to eat, but it said that is not to be tasted, man. It's not lawful to be tasted, to be eating swine flesh, man. It's an abomination, right? Verse 21. It says, but they that had the charge of that wicked feast, right? For the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision. They said, look, man, you don't got to eat swine flesh. You can choose the meat that you want to choose, right? But let's just pretend it's swine flesh, so others may see you eat it, and they think that you eating swine flesh. So they will say, okay, if Alazar ate it, we'll eat it, right? Let's keep going. Such as it says, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king. Right? Verse 22. It says that and so doing he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. So you say, look, man, if you just do this, act like you're eating swine flesh. It could be chicken, it could be beef. Just act like you're eating pork, right? And you're not going to be put to death, right? They're trying to persuade this man to go off, right? To be deceitfully, man. Right, verse 23. It said, but he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereunto he was come, in his most honest education from a child. So he was taught from a child, man, to keep the Most High commandments from his parents, or rather the holy law made made and given by the Most High. Therefore he answered accordingly. So he answered with wisdom, right? He chose to be wise in making wise decisions, and willed them straightway to send him to the grave. Look, you're going to put me to death. I'm not going to deceive my people. Right? This is what he chose, man. He chose, look, you want to put me to death because I'm not going to do the abomination that you want me to do, right? And be deceitful. For it become not, all right, what was that? Yeah, verse 24. It said, for it becometh not our age, said he, and any wise to dissemble whereby many young person might think that Alazar, being fourscore years old and 10, were now gone to a strange religion. So he want people to think that now he's going to a strange religion, man. Yeah, he's starting to go off, man. Start worshiping other gods, man. Follow after the way of the heathen, right? He didn't want people to think that. Said, and so they do. It said, and so they do my hypocrisy. Sorry, and desire to live a little, time, and a moment longer should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to my old age, and make it abominable. For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, right? He said, okay, in the present time, if I do this, I may be delivered from being put to death, But look what he said. Yet shall I not escape the hand of the Almighty, right? Neither live nor dead, neither alive nor dead. So if I do this thing, man, look, the Most High gonna put me to death. So I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna persuade my people to go off, man. I'm gonna show myself to be a righteous man, a righteous leader, right? Wherefore now manfully changing this life, I will show myself such as one in my age required, and lead a notable example to such as be young, to die willingly, and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. So he's showing an example that if I die with honor by keeping the Most High commandments, a lot of other people are going to follow my steps and keep the Most High laws until the end. And when he said these things, these words, immediately he was tormented. They start tormenting him, probably cutting off his flesh, cutting off his tongue, doing all type of wickedness to him, man. But he showed himself an example, because if he would have went off, a lot of other people probably would have went off, right? So we got plenty of examples of our forefathers, man, choosing righteously in the path of righteousness, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 3. Genesis chapter 3, and I want verse 1. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God, now this is a classic, right? Lord God had made, and he said unto the woman, yea, have God said, he shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God had said he should not eat of it, neither shall he touch it, lest he die. The serpent said unto the woman, he shall not surely die, for God doeth know that in the day he eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and he shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Right? So this is Eve talking to the serpent, talking to the devil, man. And let's see the decision that Eve will make. Right? And when the women saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat, and caused her husband to fall, man. So Adam fell too, man, right? From a woman. Adam knew the law, right? Eve knew the law, but they allowed themselves to be persuaded by the serpent, man, by Satan himself, man, the devil, right? And do that fall. A lot of us fell behind it, right? Let's go to the book of what is it, Sirach? Sirach. Sirach chapter 25. All right, on Sirach chapter 25 and verse 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. See that? Off of the bad decision, right, that Adam and Eve made, now we all die. Eve went off, caused Adam to go off. Now we all sinners, man. We all worthy of death. That's why we have to walk in righteousness, man. We got forefathers that showed righteousness, and we have to follow their footsteps, man. Right? When you're out in this world, you have to be wise so people may see the things that you do and they can follow your steps, man. Let's get the example of King David. Right? Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 1, verse 18. Right? And I'm gonna start at verse 5. Jump to the point. Verse 5. It said, and David went out whithersoever Saul sent him, and behave himself wisely. And Saul set him over the men of war, and he was accepted in the sight of all the people, and also in the sight of all his of Saul's servants. So David, he chose to be walking wisely amongst others, man, and others seen it. And what they do, they exalted David, man. It says Saul set him over the men of war, man, because he's seen how much wisdom David had. And what did he do? He promote him, right, to be a leader, man, in his war, right, in his army, right. So you have to be like David, man. When you're out in this world, you have to be wise, right? Let's go to the book of Psalms, right? Psalms chapter 101. And I want verse 2. It says, I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. This is David, right? Oh, when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before my eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside and shall not cleave to me. Right? Say, look, I don't want to walk with people that's walking in this world, man. I want to walk with people that's walking in an upright spirit. Right? It said, a forward heart shall depart from me. I don't want to be around people that talk with forwardness, man, talking all wickedly, man, and slander their brother. Right? It said, I will not know a wicked person. I don't want to be around a wicked man. Whoso privately slander his neighbor. I don't want to be a person that want to hate his neighbor, talk bad about other people. It said, him would I cut off, him that have a high look and a proud heart, I will not suffer. I don't want to be around what I say, well, not I suffer. I don't want to be around people that got proud look and a proud heart, man, just walking all proud and being in the midst of sin. My eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walk in a perfect way, he shall serve me. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. So David chose wisely, man. Look, I don't want to be around the wicked people. I don't want to be around the people that's walking proud and being in this world and doing whatever. I want to be around people that's want to put their mind to the scriptures. I want to be around the people that want to walk upright and perfect to the Lord. Right? Why? It said, I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all the wicked doors from the city of the Lord. So I wanted to destroy those people, man. I want to cut them off, man, and cast them away, man. That's what David wanted to do, right? He wanted to cast them away because he didn't want to be around wickedness and sinners, man. Right? It's like, yeah, I gotta move my position. So just give me a minute. All right, I'm back. All right. So David, man, he wanted to walk with people that want to keep the Most High commandments, and that's how we should walk, right? Be around people that want to keep the Most High commandments. Let's go to the book of Sirach. Sirach chapter 41. And I want verse 15. Sirach 41, verse 15. It said, a man that hideth his foolishness is better than a man that hideth his wisdom. So a man that hideth his foolishness is better than a man that hideth his wisdom. So you have to know when to act out, basically. Let me say that. Right? You have to know yourself, man. It's like any night. Light shining bright on people. All right. Should be straight. It said a man that hideth his foolishness is better than a man that hideth his wisdom, man. Right? So you got to know when to hide your foolishness. So if you're allowing somebody to take you out the spirit, you have to know, okay, I'm not going to act out the way he want me to act. So let me sit there and examine myself so I don't show people the other side of me. I want to continue to be that light. So I'm going to hide my foolishness. I'm going to hide my anger. I'm going to hide the things that he want me to bring out, a different character in me, but I'm gonna continue to show my wisdom. That's what I'm gonna do. You want to take me out the spirit? Let me calm myself down. I'm not going to allow myself to go off, and other people might see my light dimming. Right? So that's a good decision that you have to make. Right? A good decision you have to make. It's like, give me one more. All right, I'm back. All right. Let's go back to these scriptures. Let's go to the book of let's go to the book of Daniel. And I want I'm gonna start verse 3. All right. So this is the book of Daniel, right? And Daniel, he was, in captivity, right? Let's see if God, should be better, right? So, and Daniel was in captivity, man, right? And that's the decision he had to make under the king's, under the king service, man. So the book of Daniel, chapter 1, verse 3, and the king spake to Ashpenaz, the master of the eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the people of Israel and the king's seat and of the princes, children who was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in wisdom and cunning and knowledge and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, in whom they may teach the learning in the tongue of the Chaldeans. So the king wanted people to be around, right, to serve him, right? He wanted wise men, right? And let's just jump down. I want to read this whole thing. I'm gonna go real quick. It said, "The king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat and of the wine which he drank, so nurturing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king." So the king wanted Daniel and them basically to eat what the kings eat, right? What he ate and drink what he drank, which could be a whole bunch of abominations and all that wickedness, whatever, right? Filthiness, bad food that's going to give you so much parasites in it. It could be swine, it could be crabs, anything, man. Right? Let's see what Daniel. Let me jump down and see what Daniel chose. Um, it's on verse 9. It said, now God had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the unit. And when the prince of the unit said unto David, I feared my lord the king, who have appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your faces worse liking like the children which are not which are of your sort? Then shall he make me endanger my head to the king. So basically, Daniel chose himself not to defile himself with the king's portion, right? When you read verse 8, he said, but Daniel supposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank before he requested of the prince of the unit that he might not defile himself. So basically, to jump down the story, Daniel chose not to choose. Daniel and his followers, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, right? They chose not to eat the king's meat. So Daniel said, "Look, let's let's make a bet." Basically, he was saying, right? Give me a couple days, and you can see the countenance of my flesh and my followers' flesh, and you see the other people flesh and how they look and how they possess in that countenance, and compare the two. Let me eat what I want to eat. Y'all can eat what the kings choose desire to eat, right? And see who's gonna come out looking better at the end, right? Because this is Daniel making a wise decision. It said, and at the end of so let me see that. Let me start verse 12. Let me see. I'm gonna start with 13, right? If you want to get the story, just you could just read the first this chapter. It said, "Then let our countenance be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat the portion of the king's meat, and as thou seest, deal with thy servant." So he consented of them in this matter and proved them 10 days, and at the end of the days, their countenance appeared fairer in flesh, it said fatter in flesh than all the children which they eat the portion of the king's meat, right? And then Melzar took away the portion of their meat and the wine that they should drink and gave them pause, right? Gave them herbs and stuff. For as these four children, God gave them knowledge and skill and all learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding of vision and dreams. So Daniel proved himself that if he didn't eat the king's meat, right, whether the kings were trying to, a king was trying to give out, he said, "Look, I'm going to look better than these people, right?" He said, I'm going to look better than these people that's eating just all bunch of abomination and fat food and food that's not healthy for you. So you got to choose yourself in what you're eating also. Don't when you're making wise decisions, a lot of people they overeat. A lot of people they choose to eat a bunch of abominations, right? They're gonna cause them to get put to death, right? So you got to make a wise decision also when you're eating. Also, all right. Let's go to another example. To the let's go to First Kings, and I want chapter 13, verse 7. It said, and the king said unto the man of God, come home. Now you read the story, right? Moses sent this man, this prophet, um, to a certain place. And when he said, when you go there, don't eat, don't drink nothing there. But once you leave that land, that place, then you can come and eat and drink. Right? It said, verse 7, and the king said unto the man of God, come home with me and refresh thyself, and I will give thee a reward. And the man of God said unto the king, if thou wilt give me half thy house, I will not go with thee. Neither will I eat bread nor drink water in this place. For so was it charged me by the word of the Lord, saying, eat no bread nor drink water, nor turn again by the same way that thou camest. So he went another way and returned not by the way that he came to Bethel. Right now, it said, now there dwelt an old prophet in Bethel, and his son came and told him all the words that the man of God had done that day in Bethel, and the words which he had spoken unto the king. Them they told also to their father. All right, verse 12. And their father said unto them, said unto them what way he went, for his sons had seen what way the man of God went, which came from Judah. He said, and he said unto his sons, saddle me an ass, saddle me the ass. So they saddled him the ass, and he rode thereon, and went after the man of God, and found him sitting under a yoke, and said unto him, art thou this man of God that camest from Judah? And he said, I am. Then he said to him, come home with me and eat bread. Right? So this old prophet, false prophet, right, trying to persuade this man to come back with him to eat bread, right? Trying to make him go off, right? And he said, I may not return with thee, nor go with thee, neither will I eat bread nor drink water with thee in this place. For it was said to me by the word of the Lord. So this man knew what the Lord said. And he told this man, look, the Most High said, I can't do this thing, right? It said, thou shalt not eat no bread, nor drink water there, nor turn again to go by the way that thou camest. He said to him, I am a prophet also, as thou art. And an angel spake unto me by the word of the Lord, saying, bring him back with thee into the house, that he may eat bread and drink water. But he lied unto him. So this false prophet lied to this man and told him to come back, after he done told him that the Most High told him not to come back and not to eat or drink with him. Right? So let's see what happened. So he went back with him. So this man went off. Right? This man of God went off and did eat bread in his house. So he got persuaded. He got subtle. Right? It said, and drank water. And it came to pass as they sat at the table that the word of the Lord came unto the prophet that brought him back. And he cried unto the man of God that came from Judah, saying, thus said the Lord, for as much as thou hast disobeyed the mouth of the Lord, and hast not kept the commandments which the Lord thy God commanded thee, but camest back and has eaten bread and drunk water in the place of which the Lord did say to thee, eat no bread and drink no water, thy carcass shall not come unto the sepulchre of thy father, unto the sepulchre of thy fathers. And it came to pass, after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk, he settled for him the ass, to wit, for the prophet whom he had brought back. And when he was gone, a lion met him by the way and slew him, and his carcass was cast in the way, and the ass stood by it, and the lion also stood by the carcass. You see that? So this man went off. He knew what the Most High told him not to do, and he got persuaded by a false prophet. Right? So you can't allow people to persuade you to go off, man, after you know the decision what the Most High gave you. The Most High is not going to turn back on his word. Right? So you got to choose yourself wisely in the decision that you're making, because after the Most High gave you a commandment and you decide to go off after that, and that can cause you to get put to death, man. So you got a lot of examples in the scriptures, man. Right? That can you can follow, right? And you can see the examples of what happened, the judgment that came behind it. Right? Let's go to the book of Genesis. This is another classic, and everybody should know this too. Genesis chapter 25. And I'm going to start at verse 29. It says, and Jacob said, notice Jacob and Esau, right? Everybody should know this, right? I'm sorry, verse 29. It said, and Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint, right? So Jacob was making food, and Esau came back from the field, right? And he was faint, man. He was weary, right? Exhausted, hungry, right? Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage. I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Right? Jacob said, look, you want this food, man. Well, sell me your birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? Right? So Esau was like, man, look, I'm on my last I'm on my last breath or something, you know. Look, I'm starving, my stomach is turning in me. It's just look, you can have my birthright. When you give up your birthright, man, you're giving up your heritage, right? He said, look, take this. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore to him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. And Jacob gave Esau the bread of pottage of lentil, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus it said, and Esau despised his birthright. So look, man, when you hungry, right, and your stomach is turning in your stomach, yeah, and you know, and you feel like you about to die. Oh man, I ain't eating in 2 days, right? And a lot of people they just do anything for food, man. You don't want to be like Esau, man. It's to sell your birthright, man. Sell all your possession, man. Give it away for a piece of bread, piece of food, right? You don't want to do that, man. Make wise decisions, right? Let's go to the book of Sirach. Right, this is a couple more examples, man. Sirach chapter 11, right, and what I want 29. It says, "Bring not every man into thy house, for the deceitful man have many trains." So this is Most High giving you wisdom, right? Do Sirach. He said, "Bring not every man to the house," because you don't want to bring every man to your house. You don't want to show every man where you live at, right? Because every man, they got their own wickedness in them, man, for the reason why they want to come back to your house, right? So you don't know what man intentions are, right? When you bring people into your house, man, they can come back and rob your house. Oh, I seen this man. He got a nice TV set. Oh, he got that PS5, you know. Oh, he's got a nice couch. Let me take that, right? So this is an example, right? In Isaiah chapter 39, right? And the king has a Hezekiah, right? And where I want to start at. Um, so when you read the story, right, it's also in the book of Second Kings, right? But I'm gonna read the one of Isaiah. All right, so Hezekiah, right? He was on his deathbed. I'm just gonna sum it down, and I'm gonna jump to the point. He was on his deathbed, and he prayed to the Most High, and the Most High gave him, more days to live, right? And that became renowned amongst the heathens, right? And the heathens wanted to see a Hezekiah who was on his deathbed, and the Most High showed him favor to basically most I showed favor to basically to live actually more days basically. All right, so these heathens from Babylon came to Hezekiah, right? And let's see what Hezekiah did. All right. I'm gonna start verse 2. It said, and Hezekiah was glad of them and showed them the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold and the spices and the precious ornament, and all the house of his armor and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in his house nor in all his dominion that Hezekiah showed them not. So Hezekiah showed these Babylonians, heathens, man, everything that he'd had, right? Everything he had, everything in his house, his treasures, his money, he's like, he's like, how people do MTV creds and they just go around showing all this trophy room. Hey, look at this, look at that. This is what I keep this is what the magic happened. This is what, basically he just walked around showing his house like it's a museum, right? Showed them everything, making dumb decisions, right? Verse 3, then came Isaiah the prophet unto the king Hezekiah and said unto him, what said these men? Right? And from whence came they unto thee? And Hezekiah said, they are come from a far country unto me, even from Babylon. Then said he, what have they seen in the house? And Hezekiah answered, all that is in my house have they seen. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not showed them. Dumb decision that Hezekiah made, man. Sean inviting strangers in his home, right? Then said Isaiah to Hezekiah, hear the words of the Lord of hosts. Behold, the days come that all that is in the house and that which is and that which thy fathers had laid upon and stored until this day shall be carried to Babylon. See, look, he said, look, everything that they seen, they gonna come and rob you now and take all that, everything that you had, and gonna take it back to their place, back to Babylon. It said, nothing shall be left, said the Lord. Right? So this was a bad decision that Hezekiah made, right? Showing strangers his treasures, his gold, right? And the judgment behind it. He did something that he wasn't being circumspect, being wise, right? And he made wrong decisions. Now there's a judgment behind it. What's that judgment? Now his place got robbed. Right? And it said, and of thy sons that shall issue from thee, which thou shalt beget, shall be taken away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. He said, and your son's going to be taken and going to be slaves, man. You see that? So the decision you make can cause you get put to death. It can cause you to do wicked things, right? So it can cause you for wickedness to happen and evil to happen for the decision that you made, right? So let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 6, and I want verse 7. It says, verse 7, it says, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. So Hezekiah, he didn't prove nobody. He just invited strangers in his house. And what they do, they came back and robbed him and took his people into slavery. Right? It said, so you got to prove somebody first, man. You can't be just giving people all type of credit, right? That you don't even know, right? Didn't the Most High said this right here in Sirach chapter 19 and verse 4? It said, he that is hasty, right? I mean, hasty mean quick. He that is hasty to give credit is light-minded. That means what? Simple, stupid, slow, right? You're light-minded, and he that sinneth shall offend against his own soul. So that's what happened to Hezekiah. He was being hasty to give strangers credit and to invite them in his house, right? And now what happened? He got robbed. Children got into slavery, right? All the things that he had in his treasure that our forefathers laid in store, all the gold, all the wealth from King Solomon, King David, right? Now the heathens got that, man. You see that? Your heritage is gone just like that, right? Let's go to the book of Psalms. Psalms chapter 112. Right? This is another example, right? Psalm chapter 112, and I want verse 5. It said, a good man show favor and lendeth. Right? So a good man, he gonna show favor, he gonna lend to his neighbor, right? When his neighbor's in need. It said he will guide his affairs with discretion. So he said he gonna guide his money with discretion. So he's gonna be wise, and this man gonna know how to budget his money. So you know how much to give out and how much not to give out, because he don't want to be broke, right? So it's just good. This good man is gonna do things, and he's gonna with his money, and he's gonna be wise in all the decisions he make. So he's not going to spend his money like a lot of people. They spend their money quick when they get taxes. The taxes back, throw that money fast, living the YOLO life, right? You don't want to do that. Why? because now you don't understand that something might happen where you might need that money, right? Or you're trying to start a business, you just blow your money, man. Now you can't start a business now because you just blew your money, right? Or medical bills, something may happen. Now you need the money to pay medical bills, but you blew that money on clothes and women and games and trips and stuff like that, man. You wasn't being discreet, showing discretion in your money and your affairs. So you gotta know how to budget your money. Man, not gonna just blow his money on anything, right? Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 29. And I want verse 20. It said, help thy neighbor according to thy power, and beware that thou thyself fall not into the same. So if your neighbor is, is basically in a poor state, you want to, give him some money to help him back up on his feet, but you don't want to give him too much money where you can't pay your own bills. If you got rent coming up, right? Or look, I can't help you right now, man, because I got rent coming up and I don't want to be evicted. I don't want to be behind my bills, man. So you got to show discretions in your affairs. Don't just give out too much money where you know that you can't make it back. And a lot of people, though, they can't pay you back, especially back in the time that you wanted to pay you back, the time that you needed money, right? So if you know a person struggling, right, and they ask for money, right, and they always, behind on their bills, or they always got their hand out, right? You don't want to really give that person too much money that you know that they can't give it back to you, right? Because they're always going to be struggling until they get back on their feet. So you know that money, you can't get that money back right away, right? So you got to be being wise on the amount of money that you can give out, because you know that you're not going to get that money right back. A lot of people, their friendship fell because of that, right? Because a person can't pay them back. Hey, oh man, what that money I gave you, man? What's $100 I gave you? I need that back. Well, man, I don't got it. Man, why you always, questioning me about money? It says in the beginning of the chapter, right? It said, lend to that neighbor in the time of his, verse 2. It said, lend to that neighbor in the time of his need, and pay thy neighbor again in due season. Keep thy word and deal faithfully with him, and thou shalt always find the things that is necessary for thee. It said, many when a thing was lent them, reckon it to be found, and put them to trouble that helped them. Till he had received, he will until this person received, bad for money. Until he received, he will kiss a man's hand, always begging. For it said, and for his neighbor money, he will speak submissively. But when he should repay, when it's time to repay this person back, it said he will prolong the time and return words of grief and complain to the time. So this person not going to pay you back, man. And what that can make friendship fall, right? So you got to know who you're helping, because this person might not ever pay you back, right? So you got to exactly so you got to be wise in the decision that you're making, right? Especially when it comes to money, right? Let's go to the book of Matthew, right? So this is Christ. This is Most High. Sorry, this is Yahweh Shai, right? Let's see a good example that he made. Christ, he walked with no sin, but everybody going to be tempted and be persuaded to do many wickedness. But I see the example that Christ showed, right? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 1. It says, then was Yahweh led up to of the spirit unto the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterwards in hunger. And when the tempter came, right? Because a tempter could be anybody, man. It could be your mother, your father, your kids, your friends, anybody. It said, and when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread. right? It's an attempt that he's going to get you, man, where you weak at, right? He know Yahweh Shai was hungry, so he said, "Look, make this stone bread. You can eat that." Right? Verse 4. But he answered and said, "It is written, man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High." Right? So Christ hit him back with scripture. Right? Then the devil took him up into the holy city and set him on a pinnacle of the temple and said to him, "If thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against thy stone." And it was the Satan quoting Psalm 91. So he know the scripture, right? But let's see what Yahweh Shah said. Yahweh Shah said unto verse 7, Yahweh Shah said to him, "It is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God." See that? Christ was giving them back scriptures. So when somebody is basically coming at you, trying to persuade you to go off, that's why you gotta let wisdom be your guide. Let the Most High be your guide, and hit them back with, "Thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do that." Right? Verse 8. It said, "Again, the devil took him up into the exceeding high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and said unto him, All these things would I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me." Right? So he showed him all the glories of the whole world, the money, the women, the mansions, whatever, man. Right? He said, "If you do this, man, just bow down, worship me, man." Right? And see what Yahweh Shah said. Then, verse 10, then said Yahweh Shah to him, "Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written." That means, get away from me, Satan. Go, get out of here, right? And kick the dust, man. It said, "For it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve." Hit them back with scriptures, man. So you got to choose wisdom. Make wise decisions when people try to persuade you to do things and they can make yourself go off, man. Hit them back with the scriptures. That's why I said, "Study to show thyself approved," right? Right. So you have to study. So when Satan tempt you, you can hit Satan back with scriptures like just like Yahweh Shah did, man. Right? Let wisdom be your guide. Let the Most High be your father. Right? Let's go to the book of Ephesians. Get three more. I'm gonna close out. Ephesians chapter 5. In verse 6, it said, "Let no man deceive you with vain words." Right? A lot of people are going to receive you with vain words. "Hey man, let's go smoke this blunt, man. You know, let's go do this, man. Let's go highlight these women, man. Let's go to the whorehouse, man, the strip club, whatever, man." A lot of people going to try to deceive you to do things, man. Let's go run up on this brother, man. Let's go rob him, right? Let's go stick him up for something, man. This man got some money. Look, many people going to deceive you for with vain words, right? So you got to hit them back like Yahweh Shai hit them back. "Thou shalt not do this. Thou shalt not do that." Right? It said, "For because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience." A lot of things going to get you put to death, man. It said, Be not ye therefore partakers with them." Don't be in the partakers with other men's sins, man. "For ye were sometimes in darkness, but now you are the light in the Lord. Walk as the children of light." So let your light shine. Like I said earlier, you was sometimes in darkness, like you was hanging around with your friends doing all type of wickedness. Now that you repented, the Most High give you wisdom. Now it's your job to be that light unto many, so they can see that light and they can try to use you as an example to walk behind, right? So you have to make wise decisions. Like I said, a lot of people, their heart depends on you. They see the things that you're doing and the changes that you made, they can also make them changes. But if you're partaking in them and the wickedness and this and making wrong decisions, they're gonna do the thing. They're not gonna take you. They're gonna do the same thing, and they're not gonna take you seriously, man. Right? Um, let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13, and verse 5. It says, examine yourself whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own self, how that Yahweh Shai is in you, Yahweh Shai Yamashiach is in you, as that he be reprobates or reprobates. So you got to prove yourself, man. Right? Let wisdom be in you. If not, if you choose the wrong decision and go on the path to destruction, now you might say you're a reprobate, man. Right? Most High is going to take that wisdom from you and put it to the next man. Right? So you got to prove yourself, examine yourself, right? Right, and make the right decisions in life. Last scripture. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Right? In chapter 12 and verse 13. It says, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter, right? So let's hear the whole conclusion of the reason why we on this earth, right? Is to what? Fear the Most High and keep his commandments. That's the whole reason why we here, man. He said, for this is the whole duty of men. So the reason why you're here is to fear God and keep his commandments. Right? Make the right decisions. Keep the Most High commandments, because the Most High got everything recorded for you. So choose life or choose death. Right? It said, verse 14, for God shall bring every work into judgment. A lot of things got, like we read, a lot of people got judged for making the wrong decision. Right? With every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil, the Most High is going to judge all things that you do. Right? Like how Daniel made the good judgment, the good decision, and he got judged righteously, right? How um, King David, he walked in wisdom and wise and many others, and he got promoted, right? Of the of Saul's army. You also got examples of Yahweh Shai, man, of how he how he controlled the situation when the tempter came. Right? Then you got other examples on the left-hand side with the false prophet and the man of God deceiving him, right? Or how Hezekiah allowed strangers in his house and didn't apply the wisdom to prove them first, right? So judgment is out here, man. So you got to make the wise decision. That decision is going to get you put to death, or it's going to keep you in the path of righteousness, right? So I hope that was a good lesson for y'all, man. Choose wisdom, choose life, man. Stay in the path of righteousness. Continue to be prayed up. Keep these commandments, man. And with that, Kwanya Sha'ala. Shalom.